Hi guys, Gareth here and welcome to this video plonk production. Now this video is going to be different to what it originally was going to be. Now, having said that, I'm still going to go through what I was originally going to talk about because I do feel some people want to hear it, one of which is Luke. He has actually elicited a interest in what I want to speak about on this matter. So I'm going to speak about this matter, then I'm going to get into what I want to speak about after I get into this matter. So as of right now, as of almost 7:30 PM on Wednesday the 28th of November 2018, there are very strong rumours that Skyward Sword, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword is coming to the Nintendo Switch. The producer on that game, back when it was released on the Wii, has pretty much confirmed it's coming out on the Switch. Now, none of the various outlets, no IGN, no Spot, no Kotaku, none of the standard places you go to for video game news has revealed this as it's going to happen, because I still need to corroborate the story and make sure the authenticity is bang on. So 2 seconds, guys. The reason why this sort of irked me and started getting my blood boiled is because the Switch is pretty much becoming a port system, and a port system only. Now, I understand to an extent a lot of the Wii U games coming over to the Switch, because the Wii U in Nintendo's eyes was a failure, and you got to remember that Nintendo's a Japanese company. And Japanese companies, or Japanese people in general, hate failure. In fact, Japan has one of the highest suicide statistics in the world, because if a high-up executive, or any individual in Japan, loses their job, they often jump out the top-story building, because losing their job is the ultimate shame. It means they failed, basically. And that's why you quite often see those quite distressing pictures of Japanese businessmen jumping out top-story windows to their death, because they've just failed. And none of the Japanese people sort of look at that as an odd thing, because it's been ingrained in their brain in a lot of ways that failure is bad and it's shameful to your family and it's shameful to everybody else. And if you lose your job or something happens where shame is brought to you, you wear that on your body somewhere and everyone else can see it. Obviously this is completely somewhat bullshit, but they believe this wholeheartedly, and who are we to tell them otherwise different? So the Wii U in Nintendo's eyes was a failure, so of course they're going to take the games they thought were good for that system and stick them on the Switch. Games like Splatoon 2, yes, I do believe Splatoon 2 was a port, because it was originally meant for the Wii U. If you do your research, you do some digging, you can actually find out it was originally meant for the Wii U, and then Nintendo switched gears when they basically realised the Wii U was going to fail. They then put it on the Switch. They switched gears in production, put it on the Switch. Mario Kart 8. Splatoon 2 is essentially Splatoon 1 Deluxe in my eyes. You then got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a port from the Wii U, just all the DLC packed into the same bundle, plus a few more tracks, and there you go. There's a game. Obviously, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is technically a port. It came out simultaneously on both the Wii U and the Switch. Again, that was being developed for the Wii U, because originally Nintendo had planned for it to come out only on the Wii U, but again, when they saw the Wii U tank, they decided to put it on both systems. They were originally apparently going to put it only on the Switch, but given the gap between the last Zelda game, which is, I do believe, the longest gap between Zelda games, they felt as if they should put it on both their systems, so if people do have a Wii U, they can still play the next Zelda entry. One of the games that have come to the Wii U that I do, to an extent, understand. When a company puts their iconic games onto their next console, such as, Mario Kart and all those different types of games, I understand. But then started coming games such as Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker. So when Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker first came out on the Wii U, I scratched my head, I'll be honest. I definitely scratched my head and thought, what's this game? After watching some videos and watching some streams, all that kind of stuff, I changed my opinion. I was kind of like, okay, yeah, it's kind of a platformy, puzzly type game where you've got to go collecting some parts and then get out the level. Okay, it seems pretty cool, and at some point I may pick it up. It's actually out now on the 3DS as well, which is something I'll speak about in this video as well, that Nintendo are doing. That again, it's making me scratch my head to no end. Anyway, so I sort of said, yeah, at some point I'll buy it if it goes on sale, but it's not something I'm going to jump in and want to play right now this very second. Then Nintendo revealed that it's coming out to the 3DS. Now that I kind of thought was an interesting move, because of course the 3DS is selling very, very well still, and bringing a game that was on a system only sold 30 million units, and then to a system that's selling over 100 million units, nearly 100 million units, makes sense. Then Nintendo revealed it's coming to the Switch, and that's when I started to scratch my head. A game that I feel is not in the wheelhouse of Nintendo. It's an offshoot of their main series of games. And they stuck it on the Wii U thinking, yeah, it might do on the Wii U, we'll see. And then they bring it over to the Switch. This is when I start scratching my head and think, okay then. Now, the reason why I'm getting frustrated with all these ports is I want new games on my Nintendo Switch. The thing about games coming from a previous console onto a current console is they weren't developed for the console in mind. So they can't take advantage of the things the Switch can do. They can't take advantage of the power of the Switch, which is more powerful than the Wii U. They can't maybe up the graphics, up the frame rate, do some things with the handheld mode. And we've already seen this with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where in handheld mode, it's almost unplayable. And the games need to be developed with the Switch in mind, not ported from a previous system. Now, there is a game that's just come out called Warframe, which is a free-to-play game. I'm hearing that is brilliant on the Switch, and I will be checking out at some point. Anyway, then comes the rumours that Skyward Sword is coming to the Switch. And I really begin to scratch my head. Because the Wii, going all the way back to the Wii, is the second best-selling console of all time, behind the PlayStation 2. I think it's either second or third. And people played Skyward Sword. A lot of people played Skyward Sword. Not a lot of people liked Skyward Sword. And I think what it is Nintendo aren't willing to accept failure. If something doesn't do as well as they want it to do, they will ram onto something else in the hope that it does well on that system. The thing people didn't like about Skyward Sword on the Wii was that the motion controls. And obviously that makes sense, that because the Switch can be in handheld mode and tabletop mode and TV mode or doctor mode, all those different modes, that there'll be an option between motion controls and non-motion controls. That is something that pretty much I can guarantee will be a thing. However, if you're dipping into the Wii's library to bring games to the Switch, sorry, this is where I start drawing the line and thinking, yeah, I'm not too enthused and motivated by the Switch's future at this precise moment in time. There's also rumours that Twilight Princess is coming to the Switch, and another game that I forget the name of, Wind Waker, could be coming to the Switch as well. They could be coming as a bundle, which is the strongest rumour that's been out for a while, is that Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker will all be coming to the Switch as a three bundled thing. That I would understand more than just putting those games on there individually. Now, having said that, they may come as a physical bundle on the Switch, as on a cart, but I do believe digitally they will be allowed to be bought separately, because that's what they've done with every other bundle type thing, such as Bayonetta 1 and 2 that came to the Switch. That's another thing that I was confused about, was Bayonetta 1 and 2. Anyway, so Bayonetta 1 and 2 come as a pack, but able to be bought singly digitally. Makes sense. Mega Man Legacy Collection X, or even the first Legacy Collection, I believe, can be bought separately digitally or together physically. So if they do that with Skyward Sword, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, I understand if they do that. But it's still, to me, that they are dipping into the wrong catalogues now to bring to the Switch. And it's almost like, as I said, Nintendo, like, it failed on the Switch, or people didn't like it on the Switch, we're going to stick it on the Nintendo. Sorry, it failed on the Wii, we're going to put it on the Switch, and you're going to like it on the Switch. No matter what, you're going to like it. The problem with it is, there was a fervour, a zeitgeist around the Switch, where people were loving their Switch. They were, yeah, the Switch, the Switch, the Switch. And this is something else that often confuses me, is it seems that people think the Switch can do no wrong, or Nintendo can do no wrong. That the Switch is the embodiment of everything. Basically, there are some people following the Switch like sheep. Now, I'm going to start getting into a thing here now that's going to piss off some people. But I kind of need to say what I'm about to say before I can get into what I want to get into. So, recently, I've been poo-pooing certain companies and certain things because they have a cult-like following. Disney, Nintendo, sorry, I just thought of it, then completely forgot it. There's another company I thought of recently that people seem to follow without much, Star Wars, the whole franchise of Star Wars. There's a problem there in some respects. Reality TV, to an extent. Things that people seem to like. There's a lot of people who understand and respect that reality TV is considered, lowbrow entertainment, and they understand that. Yet they still watch it, and there's me thinking, why would you watch this trite? But people still seem to watch it, and it seems no matter what Disney do, people are like, yeah, must watch Disney. Go and watch Disney. Must watch. It's crazying to see. Nintendo, fuck's sake. Disney are going back through their back catalogue and re-releasing them in live-action films, such as Beauty and the Beast, Lion King that's coming out next year, plus I think there's a Little Mermaid coming out at some point. And those films were brilliant back in the day. They were lightning in a bottle. In fact, Nintendo. Gareth, stop saying Nintendo. Disney managed to keep putting lightning in a bottle again and again and again. And I have to say, how they keep doing it, I don't know. The other thing Disney is beginning to rub me the wrong way a little bit is the whole sequelitis. Toy Story 4? Anybody? Yeah, that made me scratch my head. Toy Story 4. Do we really need yet another Toy Story? Disney do well, I think, when they come up with original IPs, and they do well with that original IP. I'm not being funny, but everybody was cheering for Pirates of the Caribbean 1 when the latest one came out, Salazar's Revenge, it's called over here. People liked it, but I didn't hear people cheering from the rooftops about it. And, yeah, anyway. Basically what I'm getting at is I've had a critical nature, shall I say, about all of these companies, and anytime someone talks about them, there's some triggers in my brain. I'm like, no, must go against this sort of thing. And something happened, or something has been happening for a few days now, where, actually I'd say for about a week now, where I've been called out for my saltiness or my bitterness. And I'll be honest, this doesn't happen that often. Because people tend to respect opinions and respect people come from different places, that I rarely get called out for my bitterness. But recently I have been. I'm not going to name the individual that's doing it. They know if they're watching this video who it is that's been doing it. And then someone else who has rarely called me out for it has started doing it as well. Again, I do believe this is a bit of a following the leader type thing, or, you know, daddy does this, a child then follows along. But it did start to make me think about a few things. And as far as I'm concerned, if you start shitting on my favourite things, I don't care. Okay, if you start shitting on... I'm trying to think of two of my favourite things. If you start shitting on Mortal Kombat, one of my favourite games. If you start shitting on Arkham Asylum, one of my favourite games of all time. If you start shitting on the Metroid franchise, I don't care. To be honest, I really don't give a shit. You know, if you want to shit upon that because you don't like it, or there's something about it you don't like, you know, whatever. So I do the same thing to other people because I have strong opinions and I think, yeah, I'm just going to crap upon this and it'll be fine. However, I'm going to say, unfortunately, in this case, people put too much emotion and feeling into things, music, games, movies, all that sort of stuff. They put too much emotion, too much themselves in that. And then also you couple nostalgia with that, especially with Disney. You couple nostalgia with that. And you start shitting upon their favourite things. You're shitting upon them as people. Now, I'm not about to stop being opinionated and strong-worded and shitting upon things. Because if I do that, it's going to take a long... Not do-do, shit do-do, Anyway, it's going to take a long time for me to wean myself out of that way of doing things. There's an expression called you do you boo. In fact, a notable streamer plus someone who works for Twitch actually named their kid Boo because of that saying, I do believe, called you do you boo. She's very much a... Her name's Aurelian, by the way. She's very much a streamer person, should I say, as well, that believes in everybody has different interests. In fact, there was one point where she was playing, I think it was Slime Rancher, on stream when I was watching it. And I was loving it, so was she. But then somebody came along and started really shitting upon the game. And one of her moderators timed them out after a while. And not only did she untime out the person, but she basically says to the moderator, I'll deal with this. And she basically said to her moderator, you can't time somebody out for having an opinion. Yes, it's a strong opinion. Yes, it could be the wrong opinion. Although can an opinion be wrong? That's a different video entirely. But long story short, it's censorship if you start doing that. If you start shitting down, blocking out, walling out, shitting on things instantly without letting the person speak or give their opinions, it becomes censorship after a certain amount of time. And she then basically went into a whole long spiel of basically saying, I can see where this person is coming from. All of the different things they've said, yes, they've said it a bit extreme, but they said it a bit bluntly, but all of the things they've said are what this game is. It's repetitive. It's, it's a chore to get all these slime creatures into their enclosures. By the way, Slime Rancher is a game where you've got to go around picking up, hoovering up slimes, put them into an enclosure, and then keep them in that enclosure. They then start producing poo, and then you sell that poo. Yeah, and then later on you can breed certain slimes together to make better slimes, and then their poo is worth more money. Very strange game, actually quite an interesting game. I do believe it's on Game Pass, on Xbox One Game Pass, I do believe. At least it was a while ago. Anyway. And basically, she was very accepting of that person's opinion while still giving her own opinion as to why she likes the game. And then the person basically was able to turn around and said, oh, you know what? You're right. I don't like this game for this reason, that reason, that reason. But what you just said is spot on. Maybe I'll give this game a go down the try. Maybe I'll give this game a try down the road. Try! No, sorry. That's in, rugby, try. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And I want to strive to be more like that. I've often been told by people I have a way with words. I have a silver tongue, if you were. And just simply shitting upon things is a very unintelligent thing to do. Because people who don't have a lot of brain cells up there, or people that aren't able to correctly articulate themselves, do tend to shit upon other things because they don't understand or don't, understand the nuances around opinions or that kind of thing. They just go, I don't like that thing, get it away from me, sort of thing. So I'm going to start striving to do that. Now, I know there's going to be some people who are going to hold me to this. All I'm going to say to those people is it's going to be a long and winding road. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 2 weeks' time. It's not going to happen in 2 months' time. It's going to be a long process that's going to cause me to completely rechange the way I approach situations. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if I'm going to start being critical about things going forward, because they're going to be movie reviews, game reviews, opinions coming to this channel very, very soon. If any of that is to happen, I need to be understanding of every single angle, not just my angle. Anyway, guys, hope you understand where this video is coming from, and leave comments down below if you wish to have a discussion on this matter. If you could for me, guys, give a like or a dislike on this video depending on your feelings. If they are more complicated, please leave a comment down to the comment section down below. As I do like to say, YouTube is a social media platform. Let's make it social. Let's take it back from the trolls. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. It's big, it's red, it's free. Do it! If you wish to stay up to date with what I do, then please hit the bell icon. Make sure the quotations are around it, and you receive a notification to your device of choice every time I upload a video. And until next time, guys, you have been a very patient and supportive audience. And until next time, take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheerio.